All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today we're jumping into a topic that is just, well, it's totally mind-bending. It's where hard science and deep philosophy smash right into each other. And it all kicks off with one simple question that might just change how you see, well, everything.
And look, this isn't just some philosophical game. This question gets right to the heart of things. It makes you wonder, is the universe really this solid, fixed thing that's just out there? Or is it possible that it needs us, the observers, to even exist in the first place?
Okay, so the science behind this has a name, the observer effect. And this isn't science fiction, you guys. This is a real, proven principle from quantum physics. It's like finding a crack in the very foundation of what we think of as reality.
So how in the world did scientists figure this out? I mean, it sounds pretty out there, right? Well, it all goes back to one of the most famous and, frankly, one of the weirdest experiments ever done.
All right, you've got to pay close attention to this one, because it's the whole key. So step one, scientists fire tiny particles at a wall with two slits in it. When no one's looking, the particles act like waves. They seem to go through both slits at the same time and create this wavy interference pattern on the back wall. Super weird, right? But now, step two. The moment, and I mean the instant they put a detector there to see which slit the particle goes through, poof, everything changes. The wave pattern completely disappears. And in step three, the particles suddenly start behaving themselves. They act like tiny little billiard balls, going through one slit or the other and making two neat lines. Just by looking, they forced reality to make a choice. Wild.
So this is the big puzzle, right? On one side, when you're not looking, reality is this fuzzy cloud of possibilities. It's called superposition. The particle is everywhere and nowhere all at once. But the second you observe it, that wave of potential just collapses. It snaps into a single, definite particle in one specific spot. It's almost like the universe is holding its breath, waiting for you to look before it decides what to actually be.
Okay, but here's where it gets really personal. This isn't just about weird subatomic particles doing strange things in a laboratory. You can actually find a parallel for this, right inside your own head.
See, your brain isn't just a passive camera recording the world. No way, it's an active creator. Neuroscientists have shown that your inner experiences, things like stress, joy, trauma, they don't just stay in your mind. They physically change the structure and the chemistry of your brain. It's a real, measurable feedback loop where what you think and feel on the inside literally rebuilds the physical hardware on the inside. So let's take a step back. How does all this, the quantum stuff, the brain stuff, fit into a bigger picture? Well, some people have used these ideas to build a whole new map of reality.
You know, this stuff pushed some of the greatest physicists to think in really philosophical ways. A guy named John Archibald Wheeler, a total giant in the field, he came up with this idea of a participatory universe. He basically said, hey, maybe consciousness isn't just something that happens in the universe. Maybe it's a required ingredient to make the universe happen at all.
So if we run with that idea, some models break reality down into three big pillars. The first one is called spirit, or the source. This is the raw stuff of existence. It's this undivided field of pure infinite potential. Kind of like that quantum wave we talked about before it gets measured. It's just pure awareness, before time, before matter, before anything.
Then you've got the second pillar, consciousness. This is the observer. It's the active part, the lens that looks at all that infinite potential from the source and collapses it into one single experience. It's the architect dreaming the world into being. It's the observer effect, but on a cosmic scale.
And finally, what happens when consciousness observes the source? You get the third pillar, space-time. This is the world we live in. It's the physical reality that shows up, the playground where we experience life in a straight line, past, present, future. It's the hologram that's projected.
And what's so fascinating is how this model creates these amazing parallels, right? You've got real science, wave-particle duality, the way our brains physically change, even something called quantum non-locality. And this model basically says, yep, all that stuff is just the physical evidence of a much bigger spiritual truth. The truth that our inner world, our consciousness, is what's actually building our outer world.
Okay, so if we're really helping create reality, how? Like, what's the actual mechanism? How does the stuff inside our heads get out there and become the world we experience?
Well, the user manual for this whole process is an ancient idea you've probably heard before. As within, so without.
It sounds simple, but it's an incredibly powerful law of reflection. They call this the mirror principle. And the idea is that the world outside of you isn't random at all. It's a mirror, reflecting your inner state right back at you. All your beliefs, your emotions, your subconscious stuff, it's all being projected outward. The good, the bad, all of it.
But here's the thing. You don't change that reflection with force. It's not about trying really, really hard. The real power comes from something called coherence. That's when your heart and your mind get on the same page, when they're aligned and sending out one single powerful, resonant signal. When you hit that state of inner harmony, it's like a tuning fork, and reality has no choice but to vibrate with you.
Okay, so this brings us to the most important part of all of this. What does this mean for you, right now? Because if this is true, it comes with a huge amount of power and a huge amount of responsibility.
Look, if your awareness is actually shaping reality, then your thoughts and emotions aren't just private little things happening in your head. They are signals. They're broadcasts going out into the collective field. And that makes taking care of your own inner world, well, it becomes the most important job you have. Because it's not just affecting you, it's affecting the shared reality we all live in.
So how do we actually do this? How do we become conscious creators? Well, here's a simple roadmap. Step 1, still the mind. You got to quiet all that inner chatter, maybe with meditation, to find that calm space between thoughts. Step 2, from that quiet place, you direct your focus. You consciously choose where your energy is going to go. And step 3, you start to shape reality. A powerful way to do this is visualization, creating a memory from the future, so to speak. You're basically telling your brain and the universe what reality you want to collapse into existence. When you trace this idea all the way from a tiny particle in a physics lab to the grand scale of the cosmos, you're left with one incredible game-changing conclusion. Reality doesn't just happen to you, it happens through you. We're not just actors reading lines from a pre-written script. We're the composers of the symphony.